Hey, what is going on, guys? FL-bspeer here, and welcome to another Destiny 2 video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the quickest farm that you can do in the game to get the Braytech rocket launcher, which will only drop from the Nightfall this week, the Strange Terrain. So if you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor and drop a like down below, share this video with your friends, and also be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here for more Destiny 2 content. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's guide. Alright, so first things first, you want to make sure you have picked up the 5 of Swords Nightfall Challenge card. This you can pick up from Xur any week. I believe he is selling them. But make sure you have one of these because it's going to increase the amount of modifiers you can throw onto the Prestige Nightfall, which is what we're going to be doing to farm for this weapon. Now the modifiers you're going to want to pop on there is you're going to want to pop on the Arc Singe, the Heavyweight, as well as the Momentum. You don't want to put anything on the Power Handicap, as that's going to make it more difficult, and our goal here is to simply run through these Prestige Nightfalls as quickly as possible. Alright, now really there's only a couple prerequisites you want to have in place. Basically, you want everyone to be running Wardcliff Coil, with Arc Burn. That's going to totally melt the boss. It's also really good for clearing ads throughout the entire strike. So if everyone's running Wardcliff Coil, your primary and your secondary don't really matter, but you want to make sure you have at least one Titan running the Sunbreaker. That way they can put the melting point on the boss, and then you want to make sure you have one Warlock at least with the Lunafaction Boots and an Empowering Rift. The other classes don't really matter, so pretty much anything Arc would be good just for clearing ads that much quicker. Alright, so for the actual strike itself, you're going to realize how quickly you can run through this with the Arc Burn and Momentum. There's a lot of parts of this Nightfall that you're able to completely skip and run past. So whenever the strike first starts, you want to pull out your Ghost, spawn your Sparrow, and then you want to go ahead and boost through the cave until you get to this first pillar. Once you hit this first pillar, then you're going to want to jump off. Usually we throw a grenade at this first group of enemies and run around the corner. You're just going to run straight through this whole batch of enemies because you don't have to kill any of them. Momentum's going to keep recharging your health, so that way you don't have to worry about dying. Now once you get to this little opening here, you're going to see these 2 knights and all these thralls spawning. Make sure you kill these guys because they're going to slow you down in the next room. Once you hit this next room, just clear out all the acolytes and just work from one enemy to the next until you get up to these 2 knights you're going to have to kill. Once you kill these knights, they're going to drop the orbs you can throw up at the crystals and move on from there. Alright, so basically you're going to keep running forward until you get to the next section, which is going to have these knights, and pretty much you can run past them as well, but you're going to want to kill at least a few of the ads, especially if there's any cursed thrall, because those guys will really mess you up because they do arc damage as well. And once you get to this part where there is 4 knights, usually what we do is we have one guy take the knights on the left, one guy take the knights on the right, and if you time it right, then you guys can all melt the wizard at the same time. Once you kill all the knights and the wizard, then there's going to be a few acolytes that spawn, and as soon as you kill the acolytes and the thrall spawn in, that's when the door actually opens to progress to the next area. Again, keep just running past everything. You don't really have to stop for much unless there is a knight that's giving you trouble. You can definitely kill it, but for the most part, just run past everything. Alright, so this is the big room with the ogre that has the 4 crystals. This part is going to be the most time consuming. Basically, there's a couple different scenarios this can work out. Either there's going to be ogres or there's going to be shriekers. Now, depending on which one you have, you just have to kill those, and it's going to spawn 2 of the knights that you have to kill to drop the orbs. So if you kill the ogre, then the knights spawn in through the left doorway, kill those 2 knights, you get 2 orbs, and you can throw those. Then go to the other side of the room, rinse and repeat, kill the ogre or the shrieker, the 2 knights spawn, throw the 2 orbs, and then the ogre will open up so you can actually damage. Now, this is where you want your Titan to definitely use the melting point on the ogre. You're going to see very quickly how easily you're able to melt this guy with little to no effort. However, I will say with the Titan, because it is the ogre, if you go up for the melting point, a lot of times you will die in the process, but it's fine because then your teammates can completely melt him with Wardcliff. Now once you get past this part, you're basically at the checkpoint for the boss. Just go ahead and run down the hallway and you're going to get into the final boss room. Now one thing I will say is whenever you get down there, you want to make sure that all of you guys have Wardcliff ammo Warcliff coil ammo, you also want to make sure that your Warlock has their Rift and that your Titan has their melting point, their shoulder charge ready. Once you jump down here, as soon as you kill the 4th knight, that's going to actually trigger for the boss to spawn in, so you want to make sure everyone knows the game plan of what you're going to be doing to melt this boss. Now, if you're the Warlock, you're going to want to come up to this rock right up here, and that's where you're going to want to place your Empowering Rift. The other guy, the 3rd person, is going to be in the Empowering Rift with you, and you guys are both going to shoot Warcliff coil to take down the boss. Now, the 3rd job for the Titan, the Sunbreaker, this is the most crucial part, is you're going to be in charge of getting the shoulder charge off on the boss to activate the melting point. Now, what I was doing was I was running it with a shotgun, that way I could hit him with melting point and just use the shotgun so I wouldn't have to worry about blowing myself up. Now, if you're a better Titan, then by all means use Warcliff coil. It's going to do a heck of a lot more damage. Now, the timing on this is very crucial. It's going to take a little bit of timing to get worked out, but basically I had it where if I was standing next to this pillar as the portal opened up, then the timing is about right. You want to try to shoulder charge him after he's already came out, but before he stops, because this boss has a kind of an awkward time mechanic thing where he goes immune extremely quickly. So you have a short period of window. It's probably like a 3 to 4 second window to do as much damage as you need to kill him. If it goes any bit past, or if you go any bit too soon, then he'll actually go immune and you won't be able to one phase him. However, because it's so easy to do this, but it is difficult if you don't one phase him, that if you don't one phase him, go ahead and just wipe and just retry it again and get your timing down. It's going to make farming for this rocket launcher a whole lot easier, as it's going to take quite a few runs, unless you're really lucky. Alright guys, but that's going to wrap it up for this guide, just giving you a quick rundown on the Prestige Nightfall Strange Terrain, so that way you could farm it out to get the Braytech rocket launcher. I finally got mine for the week. It took me about 42 or 43 attempts. I don't quite remember how many it was. It was somewhere along those lines, but we did have a guy run it with us on the tail end, and he actually got his on the 4th attempt ever. So it is pretty random, it's pretty RNG based, but it is a pretty low drop rate as well. So definitely doing, you know, 5, 6, 7 minute runs of Prestige Nightfall is going to increase your chances, allow you to farm it a lot more, a lot easier, and honestly melting the boss this way is a lot of fun. So that's it for me guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this guide, and I'll see you guys in the next one.